upset over these new standards. And Pat Bailey is live in Albany now. And Pat, what are the concerns of these parents? What are the issues that are likely to be raised? And maybe we know this from what we've seen happen in other places.
Yeah, Liz, basically one word can describe it all here: rushed. That's what students and parents and teachers all feel as though about this Common Core testing. Now, New York, as you know, one of 45 states to sign up and go along the new guidelines, and they're only one of 2 states to implement it right away. There was no definitive date as to when to implement the test, but New York and Kentucky did it right away, and teachers and parents and students all felt as though the state may have rushed by doing that, and they say the numbers back it up. If you look at the numbers that came out after last year's test, were given just 30% of New York students were considered to be proficient in math and in English, of course, 2 of the most common subjects taught in school these days. And parents I talked with tell me that their concerns are just that students have not had enough time. When they look over their homework coming home with them, they say that it's much tougher and they haven't had enough time to go over it. Teachers say that they haven't had enough time to implement the new requirements, and that's why they are calling on Commissioner John King to put a 3-year moratorium on the new testing. Commissioner King is on record as saying that he knew the scores would be low, but he wanted to set a baseline in New York State to see where students are now and where they can go in the future. Governor Andrew Cuomo was asked about this very issue yesterday when he was in Albany. He says change is not easy, but he says that is the direction New York State is headed, and that is what parents and teachers and students can expect from here on out.
Common Core curriculum, nationwide, that's where the country's going, right? That's the state of the art. The evaluations are exactly right. I'm sure there's going to be bumps along the way, but I'll leave it to the SED to make the decisions about how to best handle it. And Mr. King,
Commissioner King should resign?
No, I don't think he should resign. I don't think it's my place to say if he should resign or if he should stay. You know, I don't appoint him, as you know.
Now, I'm told the auditorium here holds about 650 people, but there will be overflow set up for tonight in a nearby cafeteria. Officials that are hosting this event, along with John King, the Commissioner of the Education Department, and Pat Fahey, an Albany Assemblywoman, also hosting this event, says that they expect that many people. It starts at 4 o'clock, Liz. There was some concern over whether or not the parents can show up at that time, so it's been extended from 4 to 6. It is now from 4 to 7 here tonight at Myers Middle School. And also, I'm told by now a few teachers in the Albany district that they plan on having a protest out here tonight. They say somewhere in the hundreds could be out here protesting Commissioner King as he arrives.
Where does New York rank among other states that have implemented these tests, Pat?
Well, Liz, as I mentioned, New York and Kentucky were the first 2 states to implement it. In fact, Kentucky was the first one to do it. They started in 2011, and their numbers were just as low as New York's, in that 30 to 32% range as far as proficiency goes in math and English for their students. Other neighboring states with us, Massachusetts and Vermont, going to implement them this year. Vermont, I talked to them on the phone today, an official from the state education department in that state, and they told me that just a few of their select students are going to do it this year, and then they're going to implement it all next year because they, quote, did not want to rush the new Common Core. And coming up tonight at 5 and 6, we'll show you what neighboring states and what other states in the country, how they're doing, how they're implementing it, and compare their numbers to New York State numbers.
Well, it's certainly the topic du jour, isn't it? And we'll see where all this takes us, especially with this big meeting in Albany tonight. And thank you, Pat Bailey, for that report. We're also following some breaking news in Glenville. Just moments ago, police told us that someone is in custody in connection with several recent break-ins in the town. 8 homes in Glenville have been broken into during the past 2 months. And in each case, the thief or thieves stole jewelry, cash, and electronics. No one has been charged yet, but again, police have just told us that they do have someone in custody who's being questioned right now. We'll bring you more on this story as we get it.